Last night, I performed at a glam birthday party for a 1-year-old child. That's right, someone paid me to perform for this child who's turning 1. The party was like a Met Gala, had DJs, people in costume, dancers, and I performed stand-up. And the child probably won't even remember it, right? You know what I got for my first birthday? A plastic soldier. No army, just one soldier toy. But you know, last time, every few hours, I can hear babies crying everywhere, somewhere, disturbing my beauty sleep. Now I hardly hear them. Where have all these babies gone? I mean, I'm happy because less children means less crowd, less noise. But fewer babies mean fewer people to support the future. Who's going to take care of us and visit us in the old folks' home? Is the drop because babies are stressful? Is it money, lifestyle, or even mental health stopping people from having kids? Or have we all become too self-absorbed? Maybe we are too happy with our fur kids and our house plants. So I'm going to find out why. It's Kumar versus Children. Back in the old days, with no TV, no smartphone, no viral dances, humans found their own form of entertainment. The result? Big families. Having more kids was also practical for safety. A few centuries ago, having big families was a sign of wealth and power. More kids, more hands to work, more chances of building a family empire. But today, with overpopulation, rising costs, and way more entertainment options, kids are becoming less important. Now, some countries like Singapore are facing low birth rates. This will affect our workforce and create a bigger aging population. So, the red carpet has been rolled out with baby bonuses, parental leave, tax rebates. But birth rates continue to be low even with all these perks. Why? Is it because family size is a personal choice? So I guess we have to navigate this issue one stroller at a time. Now let's talk numbers. In the 1960s, global fertility rates were at 5. Today is just 2.2. Many developed countries are below the 2.2. And in Singapore, we were at 0.97 in 2024. Why are we having fewer kids? So, what are some solutions Singapore is trying to encourage couples to start a family? Baby bonuses, housing grants, subsidies, and other measures to support families. Maternity, healthcare, caregiving, preschool, and education support. Financial support like the new Large Families Scheme. Managing work and family life with the new Shared Parental Leave Scheme and tripartite guidelines on flexible work arrangement requests. But is all this enough to convince us to have kids? So I sent my intern Gigi to find out what you think about our baby-making problem.
What do you think is good and challenging about having children?
So I'm looking at my daughter now. What's good about having her? I would say that it's good that you know that there's someone that you can unconditionally care for, and you kind of hope that they also reciprocate that to you.
It brings a lot of joy. It sparks happiness.
I have to touch poop every day.
You have someone which look like you when you are young.
Having children are joyous. I have 4 children. I deserve a trophy.
They keep us busy all the time, and your days are always filled with something. But that's also the bad thing because you don't have time for yourself.
I will feel guilty sometimes because I don't have enough time for them.
When you need to struggle between work and the kids, I think that's where it's a bit more challenging, but I think it's worth it. Yeah.
When you have a complete family, the home feels more loving. So it'll create a positive atmosphere for both the parents and the children.
I would say there's no good and bad
I tell you, it's so tough to bring children up. You know, at every episode, every age, there's always a lot of problems. But as long as you know how to manage, I think generally having children are still good. Go for it. Go for more children.
Why do you think that the birth rates in Singapore are falling?
Everybody's too stressed. Serious. Inflation. I think it's a topic, but not only in Singapore, I think it's worldwide issue.
My generation, we are thinking more about work than children. So that's a afterthought.
Just to give birth, the invoice that we received from the hospital was 26,000 Singapore dollars. So I can understand that it's totally out of normal budget to run through this process few times. Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's a controversial opinion, but my take is that because of this shift in like education also, we don't really want our mothers' lives right now, but everybody wants our dad's lives because it's kind of like you earn more, then you do less at home. Like that's sort of the general trend, I think.
If you don't have a helper, you need to have people around to help take care of the kid. You cannot leave the baby alone, right, for a few hours. That's, according to my husband, abuse. To leave
It is. Just to confirm your husband.
So you cannot go down, buy something, come up.
No,
Cannot.
Not even 1 minute. If you were in charge of making Singaporeans have more children, what would you do?
Educate the young people, letting them know the beauty, the benefits of having children.
I think what is helpful would be giving more childcare leave and the flexibility and the empathy from the employers.
Having a separate policies that actually protects the parents, not only the mothers, but the fathers as well.
Maybe 2 or 3 times a week in which there's free childcare services which you can drop the children off.
Complete this sentence. Having children is like...
My everything?
Challenges.
Joy to my life.
Cannot express in words.
It's like a roller coaster, yeah. Yeah, it's going up, it's going down, but I think the most important is to be stable, you know, on the long run.
Having children is like getting something with a no refund policy and you're stuck with it for life. But it's good though.
Let's find out how much you know about Singapore's falling birth rates and having babies here in Singapore. Intros, please.
Hello, I am Shane, father of 2 children.
Hi, I am Cheryl Miles, mother of none. I'm a dink now. A dink is double income, no kids.
Wow.
You guys.
I'm a dong. Dong dong. I'm Suhaibi Yusof. I got 3 grown-up kids, almost becoming empty nesters soon.
Never mind, maybe you can get grandkids already.
That's why she's a ding. I'm a dong dong, man. I don't know what to do. Dong.
Okay, hi, I'm Annette. I have 1 2-year-old baby.
Oh,
Yeah.
just about
I don't know
is that how big your 2-year-old is?
Very cute. Today, we will be playing Baby or Maybe, all right? I'll be asking you some questions. You've got 10 seconds to discuss and write down your answers. Baby, if you think it's true. Maybe if you think it's wrong. All right, let's see how much you know about the realities of raising kids in Singapore. Let's see if the dink or the donks will win today. Question number 1. Which of these is incorrect when planning to be a parent? A, be prepared for projectile poop and pee. B,
that's nasty.
Always have your diapers ready. C, baby wipes are your friends. D, sleep when the baby sleeps. E, ask for help. Let's take a look.
Answer is N, O, N, and E.
No nay.
No nay.
No nay. And you guys?
I think it's D.
D actually is sleep when the baby sleeps.
Yeah, so when the baby's already sleeping, you go to sleep.
No, but shouldn't the baby have its own sleep time and then you can watch television afterwards? Or have a date night?
The answer is none.
None.
They're all correct. There will be projectile poop and pee. Just how much? I mean, you have a 2-year-old.
Okay, I actually did not experience projectile poop and pee, but I have experienced projectile vomit. Yeah, so that's a fun one.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
It was real projection, man.
Next question. What is the optimum temperature for preparing milk formula for babies?
Okay, I don't know.
Optimum temperature. Is it A?
Oh, okay, I know this story.
Cooler around 30 degrees Celsius. B, warmer around 40 degrees Celsius, or C, body temperature around 37 degrees Celsius?
I think. Just because,
I
like.
think Net's gonna get this because she's the closest to like baby
Answers,
age.
please.
I have to
Oh,
go.
I'm gonna go
B,
C.
which was.
B
Above 40.
is 40, C
Oh.
is body
temp.
temperature, which is 37. Now, this is a highly debated topic. Doctors say that you should heat it up to 40 degrees.
Yeah, because it's
but
safer, right?
serve it at body temperature
Haha.
to ensure that it's comfortable for the babies and the formula mixes well. So you guys got the answer right.
Because I just remember you put it in your wrist, right?
That's why you put it on your wrist.
Put it in your wrist and you're like, oh, it's
50,
about
is it
there.
Yeah,
like-
but 40 isn't even that hot. When you're drinking 40 degrees water, it's like close to lukewarm.
I had no idea, but all my kids grew up normal.
Babies should poop every day. Baby or maybe.
Poop every day.
Babies
We
should
need to
poop
shit.
every day. Answers, please. Little artwork.
Ah, see,
Very
okay,
Very
let's-
nice.
There
Very
you
nice.
go.
A lot of effort.
Illustrator, okay? She's
Oh,
an
that's
illustrator.
poop. It looks like a Christmas
Yeah.
tree.
I feel like should, but you don't have to panic if they don't in like a day or so. But yeah, I think we're going for baby.
Apparently, babies who are breastfed, they don't actually have to poop every day. They do poop once every few days or even up to a week because breast milk can be absorbed by the body and has minimal waste.
So the
Okay.
answer is maybe.
Maybe.
We're
Oh
both
my.
wrong.
They
Okay.
should poop every day.
Does your baby poop every day?
Yeah. Are you
Every
sure
hour.
this is
Depends,
the
though.
correct
Every
answer?
hour if
Some
you're
people don't.
regular.
We are sure. Next question. Singapore has the lowest birth rate in the world. Baby or maybe?
This one,
I
of
don't think
course.
so.
Yes.
I think
We're
Korea
the third.
was it
Yeah, possibly
200
Japan,
countries.
or
Korea, right?
somewhere.
Answers? Let's see. Oh.
You think so?
This is
Really?
I don't think so, but
Yeah.
Suhaimi is
In
Well,
the world, though.
This is where
Out
we
of
take the lead.
200 countries
he is
surveyed for infertility, we stand at 197. Number one being most fertile, number 200 being the most infertile.
But that's not
the world survey.
200.
Yeah, we're like the third worst country in the
Then
world
this
for
baby
fertility.
already, we're third worst, right?
You-
She asked if we're the worst.
Well, unless you want to put it as 200, but then
So we're not
among
the
the-
worst.
Let's hear it. Gigi.
We have a
So
low
you're
birth
saying
rate.
maybe.
this is the problem you speak
Who
to
do you
lawyers.
think has the lowest birth rate then?
Maybe Japan.
Yeah, I was thinking
Maybe
Japan.
Korea. I don't know.
You would be right.
Wow.
They would be right. South Korea has the lowest rate in the world.
It's okay.
Next
Let's
question.
make more babies in it.
Which year saw Singapore's highest birth rate?
Be a
Was it
dragon.
A, 1960,
Oh.
B, 1980, or C, 2020?
You know, I was born in 1969. I had 10 siblings.
Okay, so
My neighbor had 15.
Okay, answers,
It's a game show
please.
anyway.
Let's take a look.
Okay.
Oh, same
I think it's
answer.
1960.
I think it's like
1960.
2020 actually because the population has gone up so much so that I think if you're just taking the raw birth number, it's going to be higher.
The answer is 1960.
Oh, God damn it.
Both
we're
of you
still
got
correct,
it
so yes,
right.
we're
Yeah, well
Boomer.
done, well done, well done. I mean,
Because
we didn't have much nightlife.
Baby boomer.
That was our nightlife.
Yeah.
We didn't have PlayStation.
He was a
We-
1960 what, baby?
1969.
And he had 8 siblings before him.
So there you go.
So this makes
Evidence.
sense.
So one
Makes
of them
sense.
is
The
it.
PlayStation was the best.
Post-independence, Singapore actually had a booming birth rate of about 39 births per 1,000 people.
Wow.
Last year, Singapore had 8 births per 1,000
Oh,
people.
wow.
Oh,
That's a big
goodness.
drop.
It has
Wow.
dropped a lot. Last question. What is the average price of diapers today?
Ooh, I have no
Oh,
idea.
God.
Number.
Baby's diaper or it's like, hey, old folks also now got diaper, you know. So
It's like,
old folks
just
wear
how much
diaper or baby
I
diaper.
spend on my shampoo, I also don't know.
Okay, let's see. You have your
What's the
answer?
price now?
US. So we wanted to be very
What
specific and we put the currency. And then because you're asking us to guess, I thought I would just throw in some regular,
Sure.
some random
Expensive
numbers.
diaper.
This is absolutely ridiculous.
No, that's the price of one satay stick.
Yeah.
Is your diaper
Plus
made of
minus
gold?
inflation.
Like, I don't understand.
I always hear
Only
people
that.
saying it's so expensive. So I'm like, I don't even know what it would
That'll
cost.
make you poop
but
in your
I
pants.
guess.
So I would give them the point because this is definitely closer. I don't know how much diapers cost. I've never bought one before. All right, I'm gonna be announcing the winners for
Winner man.
today. Everyone wins.
well done.
really?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Congratulations.
I believe it came from a stock.
A stock.
It was thrown in from the chip. Yeah, there's no chimney.
This segment is my favorite segment, ladies and gentlemen. It's called Dr. Kumar segment, where I will talk to my beautiful panelists about the topic of the day. Okay, so this episode, since we're all talking about children, it's good to have my panelists and their views because for me, children is a no-no. I have dogs.
Here's what most people think, right? They're worried about finances, inflation, not having enough time. All of that is birth control enough here in Singapore. Like, as a friend always says, I can't even afford to feed myself. How to feed a child?
You have friends like that?
Yeah, they're very broke.
Oh, yeah, Gen Z.
I don't think I see myself having kids in the near future. Number one, I think it's very expensive to have kids. I would rather spend the money on myself and on my wife. And
your future wife.
Future wife. But I would rather spend the money on me and my wife traveling to see the world rather than to stay at home and take care of the
That's
kids.
exactly what my brother says.
And that's the doom of Singapore's future.
Yeah. Nat, you have 3 kids.
I have 3 kids, but I and this will be probably an unpopular opinion, but I've told all of them, and it's obviously not up to me, but to not have kids.
Really?
Wow.
You told them?
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
I love my kids, but as an environmentalist, the world is overpopulated. The world simply cannot sustain more people. I got my diving license before my first was born, okay? And within a very short period of time, I went diving again in the same place after he was born. And before he was born, the sea was full of coral, like all different shapes, colors, sizes. It was like a completely different world, right? So beautiful. And then when I went diving again after he was born, already the fish were in fish traps. Already the coral was broken. Already there was plastic floating on the top of the sea. So I said to myself, if in my lifetime, in such a short period of time, his world has changed so much, imagine in his lifetime.
I want kids.
Okay, go.
I do want kids. Yeah, I do want kids. Can you imagine like a little Gigi, so cute?
No.
But that's
you want a
I
mini
can nurture.
But this Gigi is already little. You want a littler Gigi.
I want to love and nurture something. It's
I
like
know.
when you have a pet, you know?
I know a family who
Love
have
it.
10 children.
And how are they doing?
They're very happy.
But the parents can afford it. They're doing okay.
They live very simple life.
Okay.
You know? So Haris, you have a kid, right?
Yeah, recently. So now she's 4 months old.
Your kid is a girl.
Girl. Yeah. And I mean, I can't say that I always grew up wanting to have kids, but then the more I think about it, and this is going to sound selfish again, Nadia, like I felt like if you're going through life, having a kid is almost like a part of the human experience that's going to unlock something inside. Because I mean, evolutionary, we are all kind of primed to have kids, right? So there must be something special about having kids. And I can
Do
say
you feel
after
that?
4 months,
Kids because you're
I haven't
curious?
felt that. No, I feel the special in moments, but it's damn tiring. And I have so much more respect for kids, for parents.
kids.
Yeah. And parents of 3 kids, I salute you because after having 1 kid, I'm like, whoa, this is hard, man.
But do you feel the rush of love and excitement
Starting to.
So
And that was what-
it's not like an immediate sensation
No,
where
all the things you
this
see
is my
on-
kid.
Yeah,
I
all the
love
things you
I-
see on TV where your kid holds your finger for the first time, I was like,
You're like, get away!
I'm like, nothing. Yeah, I was like, okay, I hope I don't break this thing. You know, it's like carrying
Okay,
a
it's more fear. It's more fear.
fear. Yeah, so what I've read is that for dads, the attachment comes more gradually. But then I started feeling less guilty.
What happens to me when I'm older? This is something which kind of bugs me a little bit sometimes because it's just me and him, right? We don't have many siblings, you know, and they have their own families. So what happens when we're older? So now you got to think about retirement and the money to take care of yourself. Loneliness, I think, is one of the biggest killers of the elderly right now.
Then you can hang out with Kumar.
I'll hang out with Kumar.
Yeah, I have
We should all get together, no?
No,
People
really,
without children should get together.
Building community at the age that we're at now, a conscious community that you will age
At
together.
the age that we are at now.
At
This
the
one-
age that we are at now.
now.
Is one of the most important things because you need to build a community that you know you will age with. I was a very young mom. So my eldest is 31. And yeah, he's 31.
I can call you.
I didn't know you were I didn't know you were a young. I didn't know you were a young mom.
To bring a kid into this world now when we cannot even sustain ourselves, you look
So
at
it's dangerous.
we're setting them up for suffering. This is only my opinion. And this is only
But
my
it makes a lot of
opinion.
sense. Even Korea also, they're talking about low fertility rate. There is a whole program on that. And everyone is talking about finance, because they can't even find a job for the graduates now there. So they can't even think that far yet. If you're living in a HDB And if you think cost of living is very high, I think you can live simply, like me, and you can still have kids.
But I think what's the main problem for me, and a lot of it is, I think, childcare. If you have a household that needs dual income, let's face it, in this day and age, most people have dual income households. When both go out to work, if you don't have your nucleus family or your grandparents able to take care of the kids, and you don't have a helper, you need childcare. Every building now that's built in Singapore, every 10th floor should have a childcare center, so that the officers there can have their kids there if they don't have.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Can I add also, like, I think the trend of people not wanting to have kids is damn real. Even before
I
we
don't
had
have
kids, we had kids, I also think, do I want? But I also noticed that once you have kids, there is so much pressure to do the best for your kid.
Be a perfect parent.
And to spend on this, spend on that, and the pressure is real. But I do also agree that yes, everything's getting expensive, but there are ways to do things less lavishly. It's just you have to fight a lot of pressure. Because when I talk to friends, they're like, okay, if you had to decide between schools or between this, wouldn't you want the best for your kid? And I'm like, yeah, but the best costs like 5 times more than
And the best according to who?
Yeah,
Excuse
exactly.
me, like the best according to who?
According to social pressure.
Yes, but my kids didn't do tuition.
So what's the positive about having children? I'm hearing a lot of negatives.
Positives are seeing how each of them become their own person as they age. My youngest, for example, she's just written a piece for English this year. The prompt was something like, write about what the world would look like in 200 years. And it was a very dystopian piece. I was so conflicted, to be honest with you. I was like proud, like so proud that she could write something like this. Sad that this was her view on the world. Guilty because maybe because of what I've done as being an environmentalist, I've influenced her mind and so she sees the world in that way. But they challenge you and they force you to grow in ways that you never would expect to have to grow.
I think in general, people do love kids as long as it's not yours.
I think I would love my kid.
I don't think that's what she was saying.
No, nothing. I'm not concluding to her. I'm just saying generally. So, what is bad about low birth rate?
Not enough people for workforce, labor, like not enough people to, like if you open an F&B, open a restaurant, there's not enough people to populate that, to support businesses.
No, but I can imagine also because there's this stat, right? By 2030, there'll be 1 in 4 people will be above the age of 65 or something along those lines. So I can imagine a worry being for all these elderly people who might not have people to take care of them.
That expectation is very bad because you should not pressure or, because if you have kids, you should always live the way that your kids will not take care of you. You must be self-sufficient enough. Because when you depend on them, like our parents, my parents always expect us to take care of them.
Yeah.
And we actually forced into that.
For the kids to take care of their parents is actually a bonus.
Yeah,
is what you're saying.
that's what I meant. So don't expect because you get disappointed.
Okay,
but it's more to do with like filial, being filial.
Correct.
No, but then I think from the government's perspective, yes, that is ideal. But older people, if they get sick, then it would fall on the support system, the healthcare system to take care of them.
So the problem here is our fertility rate is very low. How do we improve on that?
I think you might have
what's
to
your opinion?
Incentivize people to...
Incentive?
I actually think that there is a point to that because recently they announced, right, that next year onwards there's going to be 6 more weeks of shared parental leave and then 10 more weeks in 2026. And even like now that we've been through 4 months of having a kid, those sort of stuff helps and it reduces the worries just a bit.
If there were a better, more maternity leave. For example, in Norway, they get 343 days paid maternity leave. I would be having babies every year.
Who works in the end?
It's the whole year.
High taxes.
I would say look after the mental health of the population first and see if that addresses the problem.
So at the end of it all, we don't know whether Singaporeans should have more children or not have. I think it's an individual preference, But I think at the end of it all, it's about the society, how we are thinking, how we are thought. Are we ready to have kids or not? And if we want to have more kids, are we financially ready? Are we ready in every way? So I think with that, we end this episode and we will see you in the next episode. Love you!